As many as 22 coaches of the Sabarmati Express passenger train derailed between Kanpur and Bhimsen stations in Uttar Pradesh early Saturday morning. The train was travelling from Varanasi to Ahmedabad. There are no reports of injuries so far. The Indian Railways has sent buses to help passengers reach Kanpur, and arrangements also have been made for the passengers to continue their journey to Ahmedabad. The loco pilot said some boulder hit the front portion of the engine, which got badly damaged. Meanwhile, Union Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnav has said the engine hit an object placed on the track and derailed. He stated that evidence is protected and the Intelligence Bureau along with the Uttar Pradesh Police are working on the case. Now remember, this is not the first time any incident of a sharp object being placed on the track has come to light. Earlier this month, the Ministry of Railways had put out a social media post appealing people to stop the ones who participate in such an activity and inform the railway or local police. Last year in October, major tragedy was averted to the Udaipur-Jaipur Vande Bharat Express due to the presence of mind of the loco pilot. The train was on its way to Jaipur when the driver spotted stones and rods kept on the track that could have resulted in derailing of the train. T.S. Ramakrishnan, Railways expert, is joining us now live on the broadcast. T.S. Ramakrishnan, shocking incident coming to light. Reportedly, an object was on the track, a foreign object which the train went into and damaged the engine.
Well, so I also read the same thing, the same version of the Indian Railways. So certainly, I mean, the engine driver would have noticed, boulder, and then he could have not been able to stop it. And then by the time it could have hit, and then a boulder is fair enough to derail a train and the coaches, a locomotive as well as coaches. So that is what it appears to have happened. Any of the forensic investigation and then further investigation will reveal the true cause of the accident. It is very difficult for the passengers to differentiate between the work of sabotage and the work of railway failure. So for passengers, it is everything is same. It is immaterial whether they are happening due to, antisocial elements, or is it happening due to railway failures. But the Indian Railway should take actually preventive measures in identifying the routes where actually these kind of things happen very often. And especially we have seen that it is happening in areas where there are more protests and more people who are trying to create a damage in the tracks and all. So this is not something new for Indian Railways. So Indian Railways should grapple this issue head on with the kind of technological developments that is happening, and the legal action also has to be swift and then fast. The investigation should also happen fastly, and then those who are guilty should be brought to the book and at the earliest. And this is where actually the success of railway is lying. We have a big pool of railway police personnel, RPF, and then we have a system. So certainly Indian Railway has to wake up and then do a lot with reference to this, and then a clear message should be sent to the culprits that this kind of sabotage cannot be tolerated anymore. And unfortunately, our judiciary is very, very slow. They take hundreds of years to even settle a simple case. So without judicial reforms and without judiciary responding to giving punishment at the earliest, because for them it is like always bail is the first option and then jail is the second option. So that is what the Supreme Court has been telling again and again, and they must feel shame about the judiciary should feel shame about that it is not about the number of judges and number of the court establishment. It is about the way they look at the whole scenario, because with the kind of technology that right now we have, and with the kind of artificial intelligence and other things that we have, the cases must get settled down very quickly, and then the judgment should come either one way or other way. Unfortunately, judiciary is not not at all active at all. They are like they are the most laid back organ of our Indian system, and that is why most of these incidents happen time and again. Even if you have deliver judgment of say 2 years, 3 years of punishment for these people, there will be some impact on understanding. And the Indian Railway also should think of fencing the railway tracks so that these kind of miscreants don't enter the tracks and then damage
Yes.
it. And
Yes. Mr. Ramakrishnan, stay with us. In fact, SP Vaid also with us now live, former DGP Jammu and Kashmir. SP Vaid, prima facie, it looks like a foreign object was on the tracks. This is something which is under investigation, which is what the Railways Minister has indicated. What do you make of what has transpired today morning?
Good morning. I think as Mr. Vaishnav said, the investigating team of both the Intelligence Bureau and UP Police must ensure that how did this object come? That is first. That should be the first question. Whether it is it accidentally it came or somebody has placed it? If it is placed, who has placed it? That needs to be identified. And I think a detailed investigation would obviously reveal how did this sabotage, whether it is a sabotage, and if it is sabotage, how did it happen, and who were the people behind it. And I think we must make an exemplary punishment to people who are endangering human life of other citizens. Earlier also, as you were mentioning, I was listening to your statements that earlier also we have come across so many such incidents where stones were placed or certain other objects to derail the trains. I think we should find a mechanism either to protect the tracks, maybe by powered wire fencing or CCTVs. But is it possible to have Indian Railways has so many tracks, so many kilometers? Is it possible to have CCTVs? I don't think so much of money could be spent. So maybe some places where such incidents are happening, you have the track protected. No outsider is able to approach the railway track, or make an exemplary investigation, identify such people and make an exemplary case of such people, so that will actually act as a deterrent. That is what is required, and I am sure the Intelligence Bureau and a giant team of UP Police will identify the sabotagers if they are, and they need to be brought to book. Only thing we must rule is the rainy season. Is it that because of accident such a boulder came because it's the rainy season also? That part I think the investigation team needs to rule out.
All right. In fact, Radhalakshmi Joshi, a political analyst, also is joining us now live on the broadcast. Radhalakshmi Joshi, shocking incident coming to light early this morning. This could have led to a major tragedy. Thankfully, that was averted. But what do you make of this news coming in that prima facie it seems a foreign object hit this train which caused a derailment?
Yes, Uday. This is a very tragic incident, but a very unfortunate one at that it could have been definitely avoided. Because, this is something that, very obviously there were some objects placed on the tracks, and this is not the first time though. So we have seen this happening earlier also in very ghastly incidents, accidents also, where some objects were placed and some people have sabotaged it. So, actually the Indian Railways is the third largest stretch of the railways in the world. And it is not easy for the Indian Railways to be monitoring it. Even then, the ministry has undertaken this initiative of putting this, the safety initiative of the Kavach. But the thing is that, this is such a huge stretch. It is almost 70,000 kilometers across the entire country. And a part of it has come under this thing about Kavach, where even if one part is sabotaged, the train will not affect anything else on the other side of the track. But then, for this thing, I think, the government is actually looking into the system of using drones to make sure that there is nothing on the tracks. But like I said, on a stretch of 68,000 kilometers, it is not easy, Uday, but I think the government is definitely on the right track right now. So this is something that definitely, there is this situation where it is the people are very desperate. Some vested interests are desperate to make the railways minister resign. So every time there is this sabotage, every time there is an accident, they ask for the resignation of the minister without even looking into whether it was a sabotage or an accident or what. So this is something, I think that this is a political issue, and at the same time it is a very grave crime, I think, and then the people behind it definitely should be taken to task. It is a huge mammoth task, Uday, but I think that the government definitely is on the right track to do it.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.